What is going on, guys? This is my visual effects artist conversation that I had that was an exclusive for, at that time, DC Films Hub, now Real Anarchy. You can check it out. We talk about all things visual effects that this particular artist worked on, as well as when we found out that the Steppenwolf design was originally always changed and looked just like the theatrical cut, which is something that Zack Snyder had to compromise on. So, have fun checking it out, and hope you guys enjoy. So, you remember last week I told you that I was talking to a visual effects artist?
Yes, and you were very coy about the conversation you had, the person you were talking about, and so
absolutely,
it's all going to be a surprise to me.
Yeah, and I did it that way because I wanted to get your raw emotions about it, because I enjoy hearing your thoughts on the spot, because like if I have information and it's like I can keep reading over and over, and I'm the kind of person that'll keep diving into it and kind of looking for all these types of maybe things that were said, maybe things that weren't said. I just dive into it, and so to get your reaction like right then and there kind of helps me out, because I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, okay, all right.
And so
let's hear it.
Yeah, and so like I don't want to. Well, one, I'm going to keep everything kind of private because I'm not going to expose this person. You know.
No, that's fine.
Why would
I?
But I found some interesting things, and I'll tell you what how I'm reading it, and you tell me if I'm kind of the same way. So I asked them a couple questions. I wanted to find out, and obviously they can't discuss a lot of things because,
right.
And I'll explain to you why. So one of the reasons that most of the time visual effects artists aren't truly aware of what they can and cannot post on their reels is because they only get like a section. Like they're not getting like a full scene and going, hey, you have to work on this part, right? So they get like a section. Right. So like, for instance, the Steppenwolf scene. The little small tidbits that we've seen that have kind of been out there, that's all that they were given. That's all they worked on. They don't have audio. They don't have any kind of audio feed. They don't have any kind of explanation of what's going on in the scene. All they know is that's what I have to fix, or at least edit, and that's what I'm going to do. So the movie gets released. If they haven't seen it, how do they know it's in the film? Right? They don't know. So when they put it up as their reel, they're just going, yeah, look, I worked on this film. You know, it's part of what I did, and this is what I was capable of doing, and boom, here we go.
So it makes sense why we get those little reels that didn't make the movies, because they don't even know if they're part of the movie or not.
Exactly. They have no idea. And so when I was asking this artist, you know, kind of like, I was asking them, I said, hey, do you know, like, what act of the film you were working on and all that? And they were like, no, I have no idea. We just get those up. Yeah. Like we have no idea. Like we get the whatever footage they're wanting us to fix, and boom, it's there.
They just get the specs and then just work on them. That's it. They don't know the characters.
No, and wow. This person had been working on the film for over a year, which is, if this person was working on the film for over a year, that means a lot of people were involved in these visual effects. And another thing I learned was, I won't say specifically what or who, but everything visual effects wise was pretty much done before Snyder left.
Whoa.
Does that make sense?
Right. So, wait. So you're saying that all the special effects were done?
No, I don't mean that way.
Before
I mean, they were being worked on. Things were approved to look a certain way.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because one thing that I've heard in the past is that Steppenwolf. That was an argument that they had very early during production. The look of a Steppenwolf, and then they didn't, the one that we got in the movies, but he wanted the alien-looking being that we seen on on those little clips that we find online. And probably that's why those little clips leaked out, because they probably started working on that character, and they wanted to put out there for the resume. Oh, I worked on this character for XYZ movie, and that's why we get him now. And funny enough, I think it was Dave the Screen Junkie. He said that when they brought this what's the name, Josh. I know. I'm just gonna cuss right now. Cover your ears. When they brought in Joss Whedon, he actually liked the original Steppenwolf design, and not the one that Warner Brothers kind of push Zack to settle on. Because when you're making a movie, you have to compromise. There's no way you're gonna say this is gonna be my movie 100% and nobody's gonna touch it. They are paying for it, so they're gonna push back and say, listen, we gotta sell toys, we gotta sell DVDs. We cannot have this main character look like this, because of course the director had to compromise to a degree, as long as it doesn't ruin his entire movie, which is why I think he ultimately walked away.
Well, and that's that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it without saying it. Mm-hmm. Everything that was in the film, CGI wise, that was worked on, was
already done.
Well,
or at least finalized, I suppose,
as far as looks are concerned.
Shit.
So that means, without speaking too much into it, because I don't want to. I want to try to walk. I want to walk around as best as I can, but I'm telling you that everything that was a certain look was Snyder was already involved with.
Wow. And that was after he walked away or before he walked away?
Before he walked away. So
principal photography was done. See, this every time this movie, every time it's like a week goes by and something else peels back into this freaking onion that is Justice League.
Yeah. So principal photography was done, and they were working on what everything would look like CGI wise before that.
Not working on, but probably putting the finishing touches.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So, and that's and I'm being vague for a reason, because I'm.
No, and by all means do, because we don't want to get anybody in trouble. And
I also I want you to say it without me saying it.
No, I got you.
So and here's the other thing too that I learned. These visual effects artists, they sign NDAs that are literally indefinite. There is no...
So they cannot...
They can't talk about it, period.
They cannot speak about it.
No. Mm-hmm. And they can't talk about it if they've worked on it like the way they have. They can't talk about it like they can. Now, I did ask, hey, do you ever deal with working on visual effects reels post-release? And this person told me that they have heard of it happening. They did not do it, or they haven't dealt with it on their end. Which, if this person was working on the film for a year and they were wanting to continue tweaking it up, wouldn't you think that they would go back to them, or at least keep them in the loop? Because they've been obviously working with the film the whole time. I couldn't see them.
If they wanted to tweak it, that means if they don't go back to them, that means they finish.
That's my thought. That's what I was thinking. Okay, well, things have obviously been finished.
So everything was already fucking finished, and then
Yeah. So there's no. They're not still working on it.
Because you're just not gonna bring a whole brand new team to just touch up on stuff that somebody else worked on.
Absolutely not. There's no way that would work, because you'd have to build everything from the ground up.
Of course.
And so I thought that was interesting, because obviously, if they're done, they're done. Like, okay, they started working on it back in, I think, 2016. So they're.
Because the special effects team, they start working on the special effects even before production starts. Because that's a labor intense. Sorry.
No, yeah, no. It's
labor intense. It's labor intense. It takes a long ass time to get those special effects down right. Because even when you see the movie, the final product, you still can spot, they didn't finish that up there.
And again, like I mentioned, I can't really say it specifically, but everything that you see in Justice League, the way it looks, the way everything looks as far as CGI was created, was the final look. Like, there was never anything changed. Okay? So that's what I learned. Now,
so what we got was a mutated script patched around already finished product.
Correct. There was no.
There was never. Okay, let's redo this whole thing all over again. Here's a new script, and let's go and shoot this movie.
Correct.
Nah, it was like, this is what we have. Let's add on to this.
Yep.
Holy crap.
So, and I did ask this question. This is one question I wanted to ask, and it was a pretty vague question, but I was asked if they were told to make Steppenwolf either a little lighter or less scary, and they were like, "Well, I don't even know. I can't answer that. We were never told anything like that." So that's what I mean.
No,
that's what I mean by. There was no initiative from Warner Brothers to try to lighten it up as far as the CGI was concerned.
Right, because probably the design, so that goes along with what I was saying in the beginning. They picked a design. Let's say, okay, we're gonna go with this one, and let's get the ball rolling. Once you get that design in, but then again, that doesn't make any sense, because then why would there be two designs?
Right.
Because there is the original design that Zack wanted in his movie, and then the one that we got in the actual film.
Yeah, and what was I saying about everything was basically approved before Zack left?
So they did make some adjustment to the design then.
But it was during his stay.
No, it was during the reshoots.
No.
Had to be.
It was not.
Are you serious? Bro, you are just like blowing my freaking mind right now. So you're saying that the design, everything that we got, the Parademons, Steppenwolf, the whole third act was already finalized. It was.
I don't mean the third act. I just mean the CGI themselves.
Well, the CGI, because the third act was heavily.
It was, but that's
CGI.
That's not really what I mean when I say that everything was
okay. All right,
approved, look wise, before Zack left.
You're fucking blowing my mind right now. I can't even get my thoughts together.
I know. I was shocked too. I learned. I went, oh, okay. So,
holy,
not taking consideration of the third act, because that's not what I'm talking about.
No, I got that. I'm just thinking because there's so many things that we got on the trailers that we didn't see in the movie.
Well, yeah, but
and I'm thinking about.
But at the same time, we never saw Steppenwolf until when? You know,
until the very last.
So the third trailer.
Very last trailer. Yeah.
But you know.
So they were still touching up on that
fucking
character.
But you know, things were already approved.
Emotion.
It's kind of crazy, huh?
That is God damn, man. I don't even know how to feel about this. I think it was a compromise because he had to. There's no way. There's no way that he could have shot, because you want to put the movie out. You already put in so much work, and they already got you by your balls. I mean, the studio's not gonna back out and say no, we're not gonna make this movie. But at the same time, they could just push it back. They could do a lot of things that could, eventually compromise your product. And probably he just say, you know what, instead of you making decisions for me, let me make a decision for myself and say, okay, you know what, let's change it up a little bit. I'll compromise. Maybe they promise things that they didn't deliver too at the same time. Maybe he say, okay, you know what, I'm going to compromise on this, and then you deliver on this. And probably they didn't deliver on the things that they promised them. You know what, I'm just speculating because I'm thinking this is a loaded subject that you just dropped on me, man.
Man, you know how I feel. When I found that out, I went, well.
This is a lot.
That's, it's interesting because, when we look at that previs, that was probably done during the initial stages of right before BVS was about to drop. And so it makes sense that that's how they did the previs.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden BVS happens, and what happens then? They go, no, we have to change it.
Course correcting.
Yeah. And so I think in the previs, that was before BVS.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we got is post BVS.
And that's why we got the actual Steppenwolf in BVS and the end credit scene.
Correct.
Or mid credit or after credit, whatever you want to call it.
That's what
YouTube
he was.
credit.
Yeah, that's what he was supposed to look like.
That was his original design, and that's what he was going for. And I think that the one we got is a reaction to BVS reception. Shit.
I know, man. Bombs over Baghdad,
Fucking critics, man.
I'm just.
Hey, man.
I know when I I went, huh. Well, shit.
Yeah.
Because I so wanted to think, I don't want to say that I hate Josh Whedon, but I truly wanted to put the blame on him. And I wanted to put the blame on, because remember, he liked a tweet making fun of how Steppenwolf looked.
How bad it? Yeah, because they compared him to the Thor: The Dark World villain. What's his name? Ronan the Accuser, whatever the hell fuck is it?
Yeah, that one.
Malachi.
Yeah, I don't. I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
I've seen it. Shut the fuck up.
I'd never seen Thor.
Oh, okay. No, yes, yeah, I remember that tweet that he liked when they made the comparison to those awful villains.
And so I was kind of, in my head, I went, dude, you're the one that changed him. But,
I don't think he did,
well,
honestly, I think he just went there to pick up a check. Because he didn't fucking bother to promote the movie because he didn't even believe in it.
Nah,
he didn't believe in the whole fucking movie. I don't remember hearing an interview of him being part of the movie or anything, or promoting the movie, or talking about it.
I mean, and like I said,
he talked about Batgirl more than he did talk about Justice League.
Jeez.
Fucking Josh Whedon.
Fucking Josh Whedon. But, and again,
you know what? We would still have him on the show so he could tell us what the hell he knows.
Yeah, I still would be man enough to talk to him like a normal human being. Like, I wouldn't sit there and belittle the guy. Like, I'm not. I do it here because I'm being funny about it. Like, I'm not. I'm not being serious. Like,
no, we don't have something personal.
Yeah, there's. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a movie. Like, I can. You know, I wake up every morning and I get ready for work and I go to work and it's not like I'm sitting there going, wow, Justice League! Oh my goodness! You know, dude, like okay, like
I'm gonna deal.
Yeah, like I only do that when we're talking about it here because you know it's a platform to talk about it and express it, and you know. But if I were to see these people in person, it's not like I'd be telling them their shit in the face. You know, I'd be respectful. I'd be like, hey,
I would take a picture and then talk shit about them on Twitter, like a normal human being.
I would say, you know, I'd post a picture and be like, yeah, I'll caption it. Don't worry. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, you know, learning that from this visual effects artist, you kind of go, man, they don't know anything about these films. They don't know what they're doing. And I mean that, like, they don't know at what point is this going to be in the film. They don't know they don't have any kind of storyboards. All they literally do is they get told, they sign an NDA, and it's indefinite. And no matter what, if they're employees, if they're visitors, they all have to sign an NDA if they're in that building working on this piece of work.
Right.
And so, you know, for them to not know anything of how these films are put together and just to work on it, I did ask why we've only seen certain like acts or whatever, and that's whenever I discovered that they don't get anything except for literally the section of whatever they're working on. That's what they get.
Now, one question. Let me ask you something. Without giving too much away, has he been asked to work on anything additional after the movie came out?
Right, and that's kind of how I found out that things can happen. Things can be worked on additionally, but from what they have not worked on the film since it's come out. Additionally,
so
that's what I was saying.
Okay,
it's that would mean, right? I mean, if we're looking at it, that would mean that visual effects.
It could mean two things.
What?
It could go ahead. It could mean two things, but go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that
something. For
me, that means they're not working on it because they don't need to. Because it's already done. Right.
Oh, you know, let's play the devil's advocate here. I know the devil doesn't need any
any help.
Anybody advocating for him, but. It could be that they're not planning to do absolutely anything with that movie after what we got.
That's also true.
Oh, that you know, so it's you know, it feels like dropping a bucket of cold water on your back, but it could be either it could be either one of those things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there could be a reason. It could either be because it's done or because they're not working on it anymore.
Right.
But
then again, you know. Because we have to go with what Jay Oliver said. That, you know, the principal photography is done. There were some pickups that were to be shot, and some special effects fine tuning that needed to be done to put that out there. But I'm paraphrasing what he said on Twitter. So, you know what? God damn it. I don't know what to think about this news, man. I really don't know. Because it could mean either all those things. Either the movie is actually complete, special effects, everything done, probably needs some minor fine tuning. And it's out there. We just don't know.
Right.
Maybe we'll see it one day.
And again, so this person, like I asked, I mean, hey, do you know which cut you were working on? And that's what they were like. I have no idea if whatever cut.
Yeah, because I don't think they were given an option, or not an option, but they didn't tell them, listen, you work on the Snyder cut, stop that work. Now you work on this.
Because that's what I asked. I said, do you know? Did you work a lot on the theatrical cut or the Snyder cut? And they basically were like, unless they're like a really high level story artist, most artists are only giving information about literally the specific shots that they are working on. Like that's all they know of. Like it's just those shots.
So every special effects shot that was supposed to be in the Snyder cut is already finished. God damn it.
I mean,
how could you drop this on me on the show?
I don't.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying, man. I'm just saying, like,
man.
We can look at it in two different ways. I can also tell you, like I mentioned, obviously, things were worked on and things were approved before Snyder left about how things looked.
So there is definitely a cut out there. There's a finished cut with special effects and everything ready to box and deliver.
I mean,
that's my takeaway.
Right.
That's my takeaway from all of this.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. But I wanted to make sure, like
No, it's no. I mean, I can be negative about it and say maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't. They didn't work on anything else because there's no Snyder cut. But the Snyder cut is the original cut, and they finished that.
Yeah, they were working on it since 2016.
And I think that's why and the thing is that they botched the whole freaking movie because they grabbed just little bits and pieces from what was originally intended for Snyder's movie.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, just because I've seen this artist,
we've seen too much.
We've seen too many.
We've seen too much.
Too many reels, and the reels that, from what I gathered, because I know the person I'm talking to, like I know who they are, obviously, because that's what I know. And knowing that I've seen, their reel, I'm going, if they had worked on all that stuff, then there's no way that a cut doesn't exist. Because
it does.
It'd be silly for me to go, like it's hard to describe without really giving too much context. But yeah, I mean, they stopped working on it. Let's put it that way before the film got released. That's how much visual effects were done.
That's insane. That movie is there's a whole movie out there. We're gonna get to see it is the question, though.
I know. That's the big takeaway, man. So those are kind of the things I learned.
Yeah, man. We dove in,
and I'm trying to
We dove in deep in there.
Does it? Yeah, man. I'm trying to find more information. I am. I'm gonna keep digging. So this isn't
some amazing work, man.
Yeah, this isn't gonna be the last time. Like I'm gonna keep going.
No. We got some other stuff too lined up. So stay tuned, kids. All right, guys. So we'll see you. Catch us next week.
Bye.
We have some interesting stuff coming up soon. Hopefully sooner than later. But you're gonna love every bit of it. So until next time.
Have a good night.
The mysteries of creation are there.
Up in the sky? Up in the sky.
The moon and the planets are there. And new hopes for knowledge and peace are there. And therefore, as we set sail, we ask God's blessing on the most hazardous and dangerous and greatest adventure on which man has ever embarked.